Yeah, therefore, Rijit Singh. 8 flights. Tokyo, Japan. Yeah, Tokyo Air. Well, he's been hounding me all week, and he's actually coming by this afternoon. I need to have an answer for him. Yeah, exactly. No, well, the commission's pretty big. That's 8 seats. So, yeah, we're looking at about $4,000, even with the savings. But I need you to talk to Tom and, hold on, I'll see if. I don't think I did yet, buddy. Talk to Tom maybe and see if you can have it done by this afternoon. I'm not sure if it's possible or not. Well, I'm not doing anything right now. I actually had a cancellation, so I have Mr. Peterson coming over at noon, and that's about it. But Rijit Singh is trying to finalize this trip. Hold on, I think I just got your email. Yes, okay, so that's all correct. We just need pricing. Yeah, you can go ahead and look at that now. No, he's in the office. I talked to Tom just yesterday. Actually, his vacation doesn't start till next week, so yeah. Okay. Actually, it looks like I might have a customer here. So Jerry, if you can get back to me with that as soon as possible. Yeah, for sure. All right. You have a great day as well. Bye bye now. Hi. How are you? Sorry, it was pretty swamped in here this morning. We're all pretty busy right now. What can I help you out with? You came to the right place, and I actually have an hour window to kill. I had a cancellation this morning, so you two are in luck. Okay, so for the both of you? Alright, perfect. Have a seat, and we can get started. What's the occasion, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, congratulations. Where did you work exactly? Oh, nice. That's a hard job. Congratulations on your retirement. Oh, thank you very much. No, I still have a little bit of time left to do here, but yeah. Okay, so where are you two looking to travel? United Kingdom. Okay, really good choice. I love the United Kingdom. Yeah. Is this your first time traveling to the United Kingdom? Oh, it's your first time leaving the country. Okay. This is a pretty decent trip for you guys for your first time. As everyone over there will be speaking English, obviously. So no matter where you go, yeah, it's a good, easy first trip. Okay. So first things first, we have to come up with. Flights will be the first thing we deal with. We have to come up with a travel plan, which country exactly or what part of the country of Great Britain you guys want to see. And we can go from there with pricing, with Airbnbs and everything else. Great question. So as a travel agent, I actually, a lot of people, first-time travelers, they want to make sure everything, well, it's for people that like things organized, and it reduces stress. A lot of new people come to us, and then they get an idea of it, and then they can do it on their own. But we do have a lot of travelers that keep coming back. Yeah, exactly, because it's more convenient for them. So what happens is you'll pay a fee. We'll set up everything for you right here, right now. I'll buy everything with my company card, and I will give you guys a bill at the end of it all. We'll go through everything at the end regardless. Yeah, and it should be as easy as you guys hopping on a plane, and you guys will have an itinerary for everything. Yeah. First-time travelers, it's a really good idea. Exactly. Although you two look like you can take care of yourselves, so. Okay, so we are going to discuss first and foremost your flights. When exactly do you guys want to depart, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what season are we looking at here? Okay, so you're thinking summertime. All right, well, that's a great choice. Summer in the British Isles is gorgeous. So we're going to go through everything here, guys, and then I'm going to give you my suggestions if I see some that'll make things cheaper for you guys, more convenient, and just a lot easier. Yeah. But okay, so summertime you want, all right. What countries exactly are we looking to visit right now? All of them. Okay. Are you including Northern Ireland? You are. All right. Okay, so you want to do England, Scotland, and Wales as well. Okay. Okay, well that's nice. You have family in Edinburgh and uncle. Will you guys be looking to stay with him? Okay. No, that's perfect. That'll cut down costs for us. You know, it's nice to visit family abroad as well. That's really convenient for you. Okay, thirdly, the duration. How long are we looking at here? 2 weeks, okay. And the last thing I want to ask is about how are we going to go about this trip in terms of transportation? Are you guys looking to rent a car? Are you guys looking to take the tour bus or the train? We have discounts for all three. The tour bus, it's like a coach, like a big, almost like a Greyhound, but it's like an upgraded Greyhound. Yeah, it's not like the Greyhound buses here. It's like very luxurious. There's tables and everything. Some of them have sleeper cars actually. So there's that option. You want to drive, okay? Do you drive standard or automatic? Okay, but do you know how to drive standard? Okay. Okay, so I think we got an idea here. I'm going to give you guys my 3 suggestions before we move on to anything else. We're going to have to deal with the flights first and foremost, and that's going to be my first suggestion. You want to go to the British Isles in the summer months. You're thinking June, July, August. Is there any months that are off limit you guys are thinking of where, okay, I understand you really want summer. Are you both retired? You are, okay, so it doesn't matter hypothetically when you go. Okay, so my first suggestion is if you want summer weather and you want to cut down costs, sorry, what is the budget we're looking at here? I should have asked that. Okay, that's a reasonable budget. And it goes to my point. This suggestion is going to be it's saving costs on your flights. And it's a significant cost. Yeah. So what if I told you we could leave? We could actually, let me pull up. I just had it open because I'm dealing with flights for another gentleman going to Tokyo. Okay. So hypothetically speaking, we'll do the peak actually. We'll do the peak of summer, end of July to the first week of August. Okay, so these flights, this isn't a peak of summer months. These flights are $2,800 each return. Yeah, that's how much the flights are. When you're prepared for about $2,000, yeah, exactly. Okay, so you knew the flights would be, they're probably the most expensive part. Okay, now let's do the end of May. Just hear me out on this. End of May. You know, we could probably bleed into the first week of June. Let me try that. Okay, even that's cheaper. That's $1,500 per person return. Now, let's try the very first 2 weeks of September. It's probably going to be cheaper. Okay, so the first 2 weeks of September are actually $800 return. Now, going into the first or the last 2 weeks of May, and or the first 2 weeks of September is essentially still going to be summer weather in the British Isles. You're not going to really miss much, exactly. But the prices over there, June, July, August, the summer peak months, everything is more expensive. I'm just going to pick a random hostel or B&B. Let's go Manchester. July 17th to July 18th. Okay, so that, I just picked a random Airbnb, or bed and breakfast, which is what we're going to be doing most of this trip, by the way. That is $400 a night. Yeah, that's our currency, not theirs. Now, let's go May 19th to May 20th. It's $175 per night. Yeah, it's almost half. And the weather, like I said, is going to be nearly identical. You're not going to miss much. So here's something that I always mention when it comes to British Isles. It kind of adds to the charm of it, I find. Like when I go to the British Isles, I like to go in the fall. Again, it's cheaper. But the rain kind of adds to it. Like over here in North America, we don't have rain like they do. Obviously, they're an island as well. It just adds to the charm, and it really enhances your trip in terms of you want to get a real authentic British experience, especially when you're in the Highlands of Scotland. It's very, very nice that way. But the first 2 weeks of September and the last 2 weeks of May, you're not going to get very much rain. It's going to be pretty much summertime. So that is my first suggestion. We could do that, and it would save you guys a significant amount of money. Exactly, almost $2,000 if you went in September. That's my first suggestion. Okay. My second suggestion is going to be, perhaps for this trip, you guys are planning to travel now that you're retired, right? Yeah, okay. Perhaps for this trip, maybe skip out on Northern Ireland. Yeah. You wanted to see the Causeway Coast and the Black Cab tours. Yeah, that's nice for sure. Belfast is very nice. There's lots to do there as well. I normally would, if you guys had another week, maybe. The reason why I say this is the transportation to get there. It's either going to be by ferry or it's going to be by flights out of Glasgow. This is going to put you guys back about maybe a full day, honestly, especially with wait times and not only that, but when you get to Belfast, you're not going to have your vehicle now. You're going to have to rely on tour transportations and whatnot. So it eats into that. 2 weeks, realistically, you're going to be 12 days. You're going to be on the road 10 days at least, right? You want to get as much done as possible, and that's way out of the way, Ireland, the country of Ireland itself, you do the whole thing. Ireland itself and Northern Ireland, it's beautiful. It's worth a trip on its own, I always say. It's like its own British Isle, even though, just the north part of it's considered British. That's my second suggestion. Okay, it does make sense, yes. Trust me, when I make this trip up for you guys are going to be glad that we kind of skipped that as well anyway, so. Okay, my third suggestion. And this is something where, if we go with the cheaper flights, you guys, it's going to offset this, because this is actually something that's going to cost you guys a little bit more money, but it's going to help you in terms of making your trip more comfortable. You're not going to have as much stress. And this third tip is to actually get an automatic transmission car over there. I understand you know how to drive on a stick. That's the standard over there, or everyone gets a standard over there. Automatics are luxuries, which is why I said it's going to cost you guys a bit more. When was the last time you drove stick? Okay, 20 years ago. Okay. So now imagine this. You're in this place and you're having to drive stick, and now you're sitting on the opposite side of the car where you'd normally sit, driving on the opposite side of the road, and you're going to be shifting now with your left hand and not your right. So it can get very, very frustrating, especially when you first start out. And on top of that, you're going to be driving on smaller roads than you're used to here. So you're going to have that on top of that extra stress, and an automatic car will just make that so much easier. So that's my third suggestion. The prices, let me just do a quick check. They're going to be like $120, $125 extra. I know, like I said, we're offsetting the cost if we go with the cheaper flights though, so budget here. Let's just say, for sake of argument, we're at Heathrow Airport, even though I'm going to try not to put you guys there. Okay, so a standard car there is £70 per day, which is about $150 for us. Now, an automatic transmission car, it's £125 a day, so that's $250 roughly. So it's a little bit more expensive, yeah. But again, it will reduce your stress tenfold, because it's just learning to drive there itself is going to be an adjustment. But having to do it and trying to figure out how to shift with your left hand could be difficult, yeah. So those are my 3 suggestions before we continue on. Okay, yeah, don't feel upset about that choice, because like I said, it's going to be the same weather. And yes, September will be gorgeous. You're going to have a couple rainy days for sure, but again, it adds to the charm of it, especially if you're in Scotland. I'm pretty sure it rains almost every day there regardless, but in the fall it's going to be really, really, really relaxing. Yeah, exactly. 1 second here. Oh, Ashley, could you open the window a bit? It's getting a bit drafty in here. Thanks. Yeah, it's getting a little warm in here. Yeah, so if we want to go with that, that's fine with you guys? Okay, perfect. So let's start planning out this trip. I'm really excited for you guys. We'll do the flights first and foremost. We'll get those out of the way for you guys, and then we'll move on to exactly planning. I'm gonna land you guys in London. That's the only thing I'm going to hard suggest, because this route I'm going to give you guys, you're going to start in London, you're going to end in London, okay? Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to land in London. I'm going to do the first 2 weeks of September like we said, which is fine with those dates, right? Okay. Alright, I'm going to try to get you guys in Gatwick. It looks like the prices are roughly the same. It's just a lot less overwhelming. Heathrow Airport's one of the biggest airports in the world, so it can get overwhelming. O'Hare, I know a lot of people over here compare O'Hare to, the biggest airports in the world. It's a big airport, but it's not as big as Heathrow. Heathrow's like 4 O'Hares. You can see Heathrow from space. They have their own subway system, and not one subway train. They have multiple subway stations. It's incredible, but it can get overwhelming. It's easy to get lost. Okay, what flight number is that? It's easy to write things down sometimes. Okay, 1 second. I just need to make a phone call to Jerry. Hey, Jerry. Hey, I know I just called you back. I actually have a couple here that's looking to travel to the UK. Yeah, in September. Well, I want to do British Airways out of Toronto. I'm looking at the flight right now. I can give you the flight number right now if you want. Okay, it's SS198B. Yeah. Yes, it departs at 7 p.m. Okay, that's for September 1st. September 15th, it is going to be arriving in Toronto again, and that is a different, that is, hello? Yeah, SS 419C. Yeah, British Airways, both of them. Yep. Okay, with the discount code. Perfect. Okay, thanks, you too, Jerry. Alright, bye now. Okay, so these flights are booked. We are just going to, he's going to send me an email, and we're going to go over it together, and at the end, like I said, we'll pay for it. We'll send you guys the bill. So we actually got those flights for $750. So we got them for like $70 cheaper with our discount from our partners. Yeah, it's one of the benefits of coming to a travel agent as well. Okay, so we have the flights out of the way. Those are the days we're landing. Now, what I need from you two right now is I need a wish list. Things you want to see while you're there. Yeah, just throw some ideas out to me. I'll pull them up on my computer here so we can make some because it's sometimes you might need to pre-purchase tickets ahead of time. We might as well get them done now. So, okay, Stonehenge. All right, that's a good choice. No, it's not far from London at all. It's actually just west of London, between London and Bath. Okay, I got that pulled up. All right, what else? Okay, St. Andrews. Okay, you're a golfer. It's a good thing we're doing this now because that books up months ahead of time. So, St. Andrews. You do have a handicap? Okay, you need to have a handicap sent to them once we sign up here. Yeah, you need to have a handicap to play. The old course, alright. Okay, anything else? Castles, alright. You're going to see a lot of castles over there, but most of the castles you're going to see, especially the impressive ones, you're going to see in Wales. So, okay. The Roman Wall, Hadrian's Wall, is what you're talking about. Okay, yes. I was going to suggest that as well because it's on your way either there or back. So. Although on the way back, I think, is when I'm going to try to set this up because that's the better part of the wall. That's the one you'll see in movies. Okay. Loch Ness. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we will. That's in Inverness. Okay. Okay, we're going to see a lot of Scottish Highlands. They're just going to be part of this trip, so don't worry about that. A big part of northern Scotland is going to be the Isle of Skye. You guys are going to spend a couple days there as well. It's an island off of the mainland Scotland. And yes, a lot of cinematography from movies like Lord of the Rings and whatnot is filmed there. I will give you guys a route to take. It's super scenic. Are you two hikers by chance? You do hike a bit? Okay, because some of these are going to be a bit of hikes. They're nothing too crazy, actually. I did them in sneakers, like regular Converse sneakers. I didn't bring hiking boots that time. Completely destroyed my sneakers, by the way. Anything else? Like a sauna or a spa? Okay. I think I have just the thing, actually. Okay, perfect. The renovations are done. Yeah, don't worry about London. You're going to be there for a couple days. So, a couple days coming back and at least a day going there. So, there will be lots for you guys to see there. Yeah. No, there's quite a bit to see there. I personally am not the biggest fan of London. Bad things only happen to me there. I'm kind of like Homer Simpson with New York when it comes to London. I get hustled and I lose things, and it's never been a good experience for me. It's a nice city, and there's lots of things to see there. So, okay, so we have our wish list ready here. So we are going to look to put this plan together. I'm going to try to get everything for you guys. Oh, before I continue, your relative in Edinburgh, how long are you guys looking? Your uncle, how long are you guys looking to visit him for? Okay. No, 2 days is good. 2 days is enough to hit up all the important things you want to see in Edinburgh, especially with your wish list, particularly castles. Yeah. And an entire day almost, I would say, of you is going to be at the golf course. You don't golf, right? Okay, so your husband. Yeah, it'll be at the golf course, St. Andrews, which is right next to Edinburgh, so you guys won't be that far away if you decide to do something else in the city of Edinburgh. But let's start putting this trip together. Before we do, though, we're going to set you guys up with Blue Cross. That's what we're going to do for insurance. It's $50 per person for 2 weeks, and it's going to cover the car rental as well. So we're going to get that out of the way as well. We're going to deal with car rental right now, but we're gonna save money on their insurance because a lot of their insurance is bullshit. Like, always just try to go with Blue Cross or your own insurances. You don't have to deal with foreign car insurances. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that right now. We'll get that out of the way, and then we're gonna start working on this trip. Okay, so let's do the car rental first. We'll set you guys up with something here real quick. Something that'll be really comfortable for the both of you. No, you can't drive a GMC or a Dodge or anything like that over there. Those trucks would be too big for their roads. Yeah, the roads are small. We're gonna have to. Hold on a second here. They're too big for those roads. Okay, so we're gonna go with a standard, a compact, or SUV. Yeah. Okay, so the only filter I'm switching on is automatic, so we'll have an automatic ready. But they could be anything: Kias, Renaults. If you want, we can ask for luxury compacts. That's BMWs, Mercedes. We don't care for that. Okay, it's gonna be a little more expensive regardless, but you'll probably end up with something like a Kia or a Renault. Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about there. Your truck won't fit on the road. Your truck would probably be wider than the road you guys are gonna be driving on. Yeah, they're really, really, really tiny there. Even the trucks you see there are going to be bigger trucks, longer, but they're going to be smaller just to fit on those little roads. Yeah. No, you won't see any semis like that. You'll see all Macs and stuff like that. Yeah, and you'll know when you get there. There's no way you would be able to get one of those trucks on those roads. I understand. You've been driving them for 30 years. Okay, but you're going to have to go with something smaller here, unfortunately. But I'm going to suggest, though, we could pick whatever you guys want. I think you guys should go with the SUV because you guys are going to be in the Highlands as well as Skye. It's really hilly, even Wales, some of Wales. One of the routes I'm thinking of putting you guys on in Wales is along the coastline. That wind gets so heavy there that if I were to put you guys in a compact car or a mini, they got minis on here as well. It'll lift your car up. It'll be freaky. It won't blow you over, but it will lift your car up. Yeah, so a mid-size SUV is going to get you guys up and down the hills in the Highlands without having to blow out your first gear or risk you guys stalling. It'll be a lot more easier to drive. Yeah, especially because we're going automatic. I don't know why I said first gear. No, that's something you'd have to deal with as well if you're driving standard and you went with a compact car. I happened to be in Iceland years ago. We took a compact car first trip, and I was burning my clutch climbing hills, and vehicles would be behind me, like stacked up behind me, and I was so nervous that I would stall and roll back onto them or get stuck there and they'd have to go around me. So I don't want that to happen to you guys. And so, okay, that's a good choice. Okay, so we selected a mid-size SUV. This is going to be $155 a day. Again, because we are getting automatic, but it will be worth it. Now we have a choice to make here, and it's completely up to you guys. Your cell phones. You're either going to want to get a SIM card. I would recommend this if you guys are planning on going your own way. I know you want to golf at St. Andrews. You're not going to want to be there, so you're going to want to get into contact with each other. Make sure you have cell phone service. So a SIM card would be a way to go. You can get them right at the airport. Yeah, you just pop them onto your phone with they have little devices, or you could just use a paperclip as well. Yeah, just store your old one, and it'll give you a fake phone number with European internet, or British internet in this case. But this is actually offering complimentary Wi-Fi bar, which you just carry along with you guys. You'll get full bars as long as you keep it charged. But again, that's if you guys are staying together. There's going to be a day for sure where you're golfing all day, and she's going to be off doing something else, probably in Edinburgh with her uncle. Okay, and again, I know the golf course at St. Andrews. They do have complimentary Wi-Fi all around that area, so as long as you're near that area at the clubhouse, you will have Wi-Fi. So if you want to call her and her uncle to come and pick you up, for example, Okay, so if we're gonna go with that, that is $20 a day extra. But again, it's unlimited internet access essentially, especially in your vehicles as well. It's really good for GPS and stuff. So we're gonna go with that. Okay. So the car rental's $170 a day. Okay, so that's not bad at all. We're still on budget. Okay. So, sorry, my phone is ringing here. Apologize for that. Oh, it's Jerry. Hi, Jerry. Okay, you got it booked. Perfect. Send that email right over. And yep, when I'm done this transaction, I will pay with the card. Yep, I just gotta get him to sign. Okay, perfect. Your lifesaver, my man. Bye bye. Okay, so Jerry sent the email over. The flights are booked for that rate, and it is Gatwick Airport, which is just on the south side of London, by the way. Okay, so we can start working on this this trip now. So the dealership I am selecting actually is right near a Holiday Inn at the. It's essentially at Gatwick Airport. Now I know I told you guys we're gonna do a lot of bed and breakfasts, which is it makes the whole trip, especially in Scotland and in the Highlands, it makes it really, really charming. But don't skip on hotels either. Hotels sometimes are cheaper than Airbnbs, and sometimes you just want your own privacy, right? An Airbnb is not really private. You're renting someone's room. You guys are sharing bathrooms and everything else. Well, most of them do have 2 or 3 bathrooms, but still. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys stay at the Holiday Inn. Here's what's gonna happen. You guys are leaving at 7 o'clock. I believe it's 7 o'clock. You guys are leaving at 7 o'clock our time. You're gonna get there at 10 o'clock their time. Now, it's not going to be 10 o'clock our time when you land there. It's actually going to feel like 3 o'clock in the morning for you. You guys have never traveled before. This is called a red-eye flight. And, no, you won't get jet lag. The flight's not that long, but it's going to throw off your mental clock. You can do a couple things. Number one, try to sleep as much as you can on the plane. Deprive yourself of sleep that whole night prior. Like, try to just take naps so that you're tired when you get to the airport. Because your check-in, I believe, it's going to be just like here. It's going to be, your check-in's going to be 2 o'clock. So you're going to get there at 10. By the time you get out of the airport, get your car rental, it'll be like 11:30. You'll have a couple hours to kill before you can actually get into your hotel. You can do that. Gravel works as well if you want to sleep on a plane. It's very hard to sleep on a plane because we're not going first class. Yeah, the budget we're on, we can't go first class. So you can prepare yourself. You know, you guys are both retired. You don't have kids around the house anymore. You can prepare yourself. By that I mean you can the week of the trip put yourself essentially on night shifts for us. Start waking up at 3 in the morning and staying up all day. Waking up at, I guess, what time would you wake up? 3 in the afternoon. Try to sleep during the day, and you'll be set for their time. Their time zone exactly. Most people don't do that. I don't do that though. So you're probably just gonna want to deprive yourself of sleep so you can try to sleep on the plane. What's gonna happen is you're gonna land there. You're gonna be super excited because you're in a new country, and you want to go see everything and do everything. You're probably even want to get in your car and drive. The first place I'm going to have you guys actually stay is a little old Viking. Well, it's always been an English town, but the Vikings did control it at one point. It's a part of its charm as well. Do you guys like Harry Potter? You do, okay. This town's was an inspiration for Harry Potter. The school in Harry Potter. Yeah. You guys are going to spend the first day in York, which is, obviously there's New York in America, and that's the original York, the OG York. So that's where you guys are going to stay. You're probably going to want to drive there as soon as you land in London. If you're me, that's what I would do, right, to try to kill time. Don't do that. Even though I'm putting you in a standard, an automatic, and you're not having to stress about shifting, 4-hour drive is not a lot for some people, it's not for me, for example. Is it for you? It's not that big of a deal for you either. But being sleep deprived and getting in that car and driving on those roads, that M1 road is just, yeah, no, it's nothing like Toronto's freeway. It's like that times 10. Like, I'm surprised there's not more accidents there than there is. Like, the British are really aggressive drivers as well. And all the lanes are backwards. So what you think is going to be a slow lane is actually the fast lane, and you don't want to do that. And because it's so compressed, the island itself with the population, like that little island, you can barely fit into one of our provinces, or you can fit a couple in one of our provinces actually. Most of our prairie provinces, it's got like quadruple the population of our entire country. So what I'm trying to get at is that that freeway's always packed bumper to bumper. So I don't want you to be exhausted or getting tired on the drive, because it isn't a long drive. 4 hours isn't a long drive. I agree. I make that drive a lot. But so what I'm going to have you do is spend the first day in London. You guys, your whole goal for this first day is to stay awake and try to get yourself put on their time zone. Try to stay awake till 8 or 9 o'clock their time, which is hard, I know, because you guys are going to be awake for almost 18 hours at this point, roughly. Depends how much sleep you get in a plane as well, but still, you're not going to get a good night's sleep on a plane sitting up, right? Yeah. What I would suggest, once you get your car rental, get to your hotel. Once they take your passports, you realize you're Canadians, they're probably going to see if they can get you into your room early. If they happen to get you into your room early, try to take at minimum or maximum a 2-hour nap. At maximum, no matter what happens, get up at 2 hours and try to stay awake the rest of the day. Getting switched over right away is super important for trips like this. Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about this, but it could be a trip ruiner, and I don't want you guys to have your trip ruined. Yeah. I would suggest parking the car at the airport for your day you're spending here, and taking the train into London. Maybe go and get, a pint, fish and chips is really good in London. Some of your sightseeing, I'm not going to bother with it right now. You guys are far away from a lot of the good sights you want to see anyway, like the Tower of London, Big Ben, the Tower Bridge, the London Eye. All of that's quite a ways away. Yeah, if you want to go see the streets from, but you're going to be exhausted. So this first day, you're just going to relax. I think the last time we did this trip, we didn't even leave the hotel. We had supper there, and we got to bed early. And yeah, I drink caffeine drinks too, though, so that helped me on the drive. But the very first time I did it, I actually got in my car as soon as we got to London, and I drove straight to York, and it was a big mistake. We almost died. Well, I'm exaggerating, but I was white knuckling all the way there, and I was fading. So we spent too much time talking about this, but yeah, that's what the first day is going to consist of. You guys are going to spend the day in London, and something else I was going to say, but it's not so much of a big deal now because you're not driving standard. I was going to say just drive around the parking lot, get used to it, but you're just going to have to get used to staying in the left lane. It'll get easy because it'll be obvious as well. Everyone's going to be in the proper lanes. So first day York. We talked about this too much. First day London, and then we'll go to York the next day. Okay, so the next day you're driving to York. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Like I said, think of the freeway lanes. It's the opposite. Just stay in a slow lane for a while until you get used to it, and then you'll start to be more comfortable getting in the other lanes. The speed limits are going to be posted on the highway just like they do here. A lot of the streets you'll find in these British Isle towns, they will actually have the street numbers painted on the ground in front of you. So that's really convenient, a little different as well, yeah. So York, it's a beautiful little city, old. A lot of your time is going to be spent in old York. What I'm actually this is a really favorite of mine hotel. Again, it's another hotel, but it's not a chain hotel. It's like an Airbnb hotel. Let's see if it's available for that day. Yeah, the Middleton's York. It's a little Airbnb / hotel in the middle of Old Town York, and that's where you're going to want to stay. Okay, so I'll book you guys there now, actually, because it is available. Put my code in. Okay, so that is not bad. That's $120 a night, this one. And like just throwing it out there. Change the date to July 15th. It's $380 on July 15th. So like I said, you guys are saving money coming during this time. Okay, so York, you said you watch Harry Potter. The Shambles in York is a nice little narrow, I think it's the oldest medieval street in Europe, or in Great Britain, I believe. I think the oldest one in Europe is actually in Salzburg, Austria. But this one is the oldest in Great Britain for sure. And it's inspired you'll see the architecture of Harry Potter. It looks very, very neat. Yeah. There's also the Jorvik Viking Center. I'm going to recommend you guys go and spend time there in a couple hours. It's got unique Viking history into it, Viking artifacts, if you're into that kind of thing. Oh, you checked out the one in Newfoundland. Okay, well this one's it's got way more things, including an animated ride with animatronics and everything. Yeah, it's really incredible. And they have the oldest fossilized human crab there as well. Yeah, it's a great big log, and it's a Viking crab. It shows what their diet was and everything. It's just something funny to see. What else is there? Clifford's Tower, which is the old original Tower of York back in the day when the Vikings invaded it and took it. It's got a lot of Viking history here. You'll find a lot of the tour shops. They'll have little Viking keepsakes. Yeah, it's a charming little town. I don't mind York, and of course there's the big cathedral, York Minster as well, which is really nice. They have like a tablet from hell in the cellar. I can't recall what it is. There's something with hell, from hell there. That's what it's famous for. But yeah, so that's going to be your day in York. And now you're really close to Scotland. We have two choices we can make here based on your trip. You can go to York, or you can go to Manchester, which I would recommend for the next stop if you're going to stay in London. Based on your timeline we're already 2 days into the trip, I would suggest going directly to Edinburgh from here, but you can stop in Manchester, and actually Nottingham Forest is there as well, but there's nothing special about Nottingham Forest except obviously Robin Hood, but it's just the forest, so I wouldn't suggest that. Just to say you were there, maybe you could stop there on the side of the road, and maybe go and pull in for a bit, but there's really nothing to see there. Yeah, it's just, I was going to say that's just that on my map here. That's a point of interest if you wanted to stop and do that. You're not interested, okay? I would suggest that. Yeah, straight to Edinburgh from there. It's not very far, another 4 hours. And you can stay with your uncle, obviously. That's going to save us money. And we can start looking at things to do in Edinburgh, which is, there's a lot. Okay, so now we're on, what day is it, the 23rd? So we're going to look to try to book you in the 24th for the old course. Okay, let's do that first, and then we'll talk about your guys' itinerary before and after. Okay. No, it's gonna be a full, four-man. Yeah, they never allow singles or doubles. It's always gonna be 4 people. Most of the time, it's 2 friends and 2 strangers, or vice versa. But a lot of times when I went, it was all 4 strangers. So don't be too upset. And everyone's super friendly. What was the birthplace of golf? Yeah, your husband knows his stuff. It's every golfer's bucket list is to play a round of golf at the old course. Yeah, it's very historic, very, very historic. So again, you're gonna have to send them your handicap. They won't allow you to golf if you don't have a handicap. It's your score, like your average score when you play. If you have a very low handicap, you're gonna hold up games, and they do not want you holding up games. So if you have a low handicap, you can't play here. Okay, so you know you're going to be spending a lot of money to play here, right? Okay, just wanted to make sure. You're actually going to be spending for this day $800. Okay. No, yeah. It's going to be very expensive because, like I said, it's a historic course. So It's a once in a lifetime. So your husband is right. It is worth it. It's a once in a lifetime thing. Just do it. Just to do it once. Yeah. Well, they play. They play here every year, every other year for the British Open. They switch it up, but it's mostly played here. Okay, again, I'll put that on our card, and I will send you that bill. Let's book that right now. Okay, so you're booked. 24th. You guys are getting in the Edinburgh the 23rd. So, depending on when you leave York, try to leave York sometime mid-morning, so you get to Edinburgh mid-afternoon. Oh, there's so much to see there. There's the Queen's Mile. There's just everything in Old Town. Edinburgh is gorgeous. I can't remember what not Bell Hill. Is it Bell Hill? It's a famous hill you can overlook and see all of old Edinburgh. It looks gorgeous. It's good for pictures. It's a good little hike to get up there, and it's a good place to relax. I would suggest going in dusk, so you get pictures of it in the dusk and at night, because it looks really, really nice. Yeah. They have ghost tours there. I'm not sure if you're interested in that. Oh, you are and you aren't? Okay, so they have, what is it called? The Blair Street Vaults. The Blair Street Vaults underneath Edinburgh, the old Edinburgh Bridge, is one of the most haunted places in the world. It's notoriously haunted. Like, people go there and they see and hear things. I've heard footsteps there when I went there with my wife years ago. Yeah, it's really interesting. They also have the cemetery there as well, and that's super haunted. But the Blair Street Vaults is nice, and this tour group we're partnered up with, Haunted Edinburgh. It's a really good tour. You would really enjoy. Yeah, they wear like black hoods, and they'll have candles, and they'll take you all around the Blair Street Vaults in the surface, and then underneath, actually go and see the vaults themselves. It's really, really fun. I would suggest doing that your second night. When he's done golfing, maybe go for supper and then go and do that evening. Is this something you guys want to do? I would suggest it 100%. Okay, so let's book that right now. That's with TripAdvisor. We gotta book this. Okay, so it's £70 per person, so it's gonna be about $300 for the two of you. It's a 2-hour tour. Yes, okay. Okay, and 9 p.m. is your guys' tour time, and you're going to meet on the Queen's Mile. Okay, so that's taken care of. You said you want castles. You like castles, right? Okay, so obviously you're in Edinburgh. We're going to check out Edinburgh Castle. Yeah, it's the main castle right at the end of the Queen's Mile. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous castle. Yeah. Well, they got statues of William Wallace there. You won't see much, actually, where this route you guys are taking. You won't see much of William Wallace. There's statues of him at this castle, but he's never actually been to this castle. It's mostly Robert de Bruce stuff, which is stuff you're going to see and want to read about in this area anyway. But yeah, it's a great castle. There are tours. You guys are going to want the tours, okay? Most of these castles, like this in Stirling, which you guys will be doing on your way out of Edinburgh, they have tours once an hour, every hour on the hour. Okay, so I got one here. I'm gonna put you guys in this one for 12 p.m. Okay, because you guys go and get lunch, and then, or let me see if they have a 1 p.m. They have a 1 p.m. So 12 p.m. go for lunch, where they actually have cafes and everything right there, and then go and do your tour. Your tour is an hour long, and they're really good interactive tours with tour guides. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. There was actually a Scottish independence rally when I was there last. Yeah, that's the last time. That's my memory of last time I went to Edinburgh Castle. Okay, so you got that tour done. Like I said, for the rest of this trip, those two things, just go and wander. There's so much to see there, especially down in old Edinburgh. And obviously this is in between times of visiting with your uncle. Your uncle could probably take you guys around there too, so you Your uncle's gonna do most of my work for your 2 days in Edinburgh. Okay. All right. So that third day, you guys are gonna finally hit the Highlands. You're gonna go up into the Highlands of Scotland. First, you're gonna stop at Stirling Castle, which is just north of Edinburgh. Okay, so you're gonna spend the day at Stirling Castle. It's a massive castle. There's a lot of grounds to be seen. Once again, I'm gonna recommend the tour guide. Is that what you guys are interested in? Okay. So I don't want you guys to leave Edinburgh too late because I don't want you guys driving in the Highlands after dark because there is no moonlight and there's no lights in general. There's no street lights whatsoever. You'll be driving in sheer pitch blackness. And if it's raining, which it might be, it's Scotland after all, the road sometimes, especially if it's freshly paved, will look like a mirror and it can get really disorienting. So I want you guys to leave a little earlier. So I would suggest leaving by 9. I can set you guys up with this for 10 a.m. That sounds good? Okay, so that's what we will do. Stirling Castle, 2 people. And again, it's just like the other one, £20 each, so about $100. It's a 1-hour tour. We had a guy with a cane last time, and he was really, really good. You guys watch Braveheart? Okay, the Valley of Stirling, and there's nothing like it was in real life. It really was a battle over a bridge. The whole show, Braveheart, this guy really shits all over it, so debunks pretty much everything about it. So if you don't want to ruin Braveheart for yourself, maybe avoid this tour, but... Okay. Alright, so after your day at Edinburgh, you're going to be there for probably 3 hours. It's a lot to see. You're going to head north into the Highlands, and this is really exciting driving. We have to decide now, this is where I was going to get with this. Do you want to go to Inverness, which is up to the right, the northeast part of Scotland? It's a little less Highlandy in terms of your beautiful Highland views, but you need to go there to get to Loch Ness, if you want to see Loch Ness. Loch Ness is just a lake, in my opinion. Like, that's all it is. There's nothing. It's a lot like Notting Hill Forest, to say you were there, I guess, but there's nothing there. It's just, it looks like every other lake. Yeah, they do Nessie tours, like they'll take you out in a boat, and it's just a cash grab. I would suggest going towards Glencoe County. You're gonna get super beautiful Highland picturesque waterfalls, and that sounds better. Yeah, that's the route I would take. Yeah, and the drive won't be as long as Inverness. It'll actually be a longer drive to go to Inverness than it is to go to Glencoe from where you guys are leaving from Stirling. So I think I'm gonna set you guys up in Fort William. So Fort William, I don't know if you guys have seen screensavers or calendars or whatever about the Highlands and Scotland. That great big bridge in the middle of the Highlands, you've seen that? That is right around Fort William in Glencoe County. Skyfall, the James Bond movie, a lot of it was filmed in Glencoe County. That's where like his family was or whatever. Yeah, so we'll stay at Fort William for that night. I got a nice Airbnb I'm going to set you guys up with right now. And that's for 110 a night. So we're getting even cheaper now that we're getting north. And again, we're off of our peak seasons. So that is in Fort William. Is there a restaurant nearby there? Yeah, there is. There's a restaurant nearby as well. You guys can go and get supper there if you want. You're not so much seafood just yet. A lot of lamb, things like that. Once you get on the shorelines, especially in Skye, there's lots of seafood, and their seafood there is amazing. I would recommend it if you like seafood. Okay, so you're gonna stay there for the night. I know it seems like maybe it's not that far of a drive, but you guys will be pulling over quite a bit to look at scenery in the Highlands, especially in Glencoe. There's so much beautiful things to see. Old bridges and waterfalls, and yeah, you guys are going to be pulling over quite a bit. I'm excited for you guys. This view is unforgettable for me. This drive in general, it's so nice. So you're going to be making yourself to Call of Loblaws. That's a little town. There's a bridge that goes into Isle of Skye from there. Um, Before you used to have to get a ferry, and we'd have to book that. Back in the day, we'd be booking that for you, and you have to wait and get a ferry across with your vehicle. But now they actually put a bridge there in the last 15 years, and it's so convenient. It's called the Sky Bridge. It's a really big, high, if you're afraid of heights, don't look down bridge, but it goes from mainland Scotland to Skye. And yeah, it's from that town, so you're going to head that way. But on your way there, there's a real special castle you guys are going to pass by, and you're going to see it from the side of the highway, but you're going to stop there regardless. It's Eilean Donan Castle. And if you guys have watched the movie Highlander, you did, with Christopher Lambert, you've seen it in theaters, okay. His home castle, what are their names again? I can't remember the names. Regardless, that's the castle they shot there. And when you guys go and tour there, there's no tour group for this because it's such a small castle. I think a family restored it in the 20th century and restored it to its original. McClintocks? No, that's not it. I'm trying to think of the Scottish name from Highlander. Regardless, it's just a self-tour. You pay and you go and walk around. Some of these castles, if you want to stop, like there's a castle in Wales we're going to look at as well. There's no tour needed for it. It's a small castle, but it's very picturesque. You guys have definitely seen it in pictures of Scotland for sure. It's got the great long bridge and the castle at the very end. And if you watch Highlander, you'll definitely recognize it. MacLeods. There we go, the MacLeods. And the families that did live in that castle were MacLeods, so they did kind of base it off of that family, even though it's completely fictional. But yeah, so you're gonna stop there first, and then, like I said, you're gonna head over to Kyle Laglish, and you're gonna head over the bridge, and you're gonna get into the Isle of Skye. We're still on the same day. It's a long day. It's one of your longer days for sure. And I think I'm going to put you guys in Broadford, the town of Broadford in Skye for that night. There's a nice little Airbnb, not Airbnb, sorry, I keep saying Airbnb, hotel bed and breakfast. It's again a lot like the Middletons in York. We're going to spend the night there. I want to put you guys here because you said you love seafood. Well, right across the street from there, you can actually walk there. There's a delicious seafood restaurant. My wife absolutely went crazy, and it's like a 5-star almost restaurant. It's this little tiny, charming Scottish restaurant. Yeah, so I'm gonna recommend you guys stay there. Let's look at the price. Okay, so the price for that is $170 a night. A little more expensive, but now you're in Skye, which is really, really, really touristy. Like, you'll know when you get there. You can actually spend a whole week in Skye if you want. There's only one road, and it's very limited for sure, unless you go off-roading. But it's gorgeous. You guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do for that day. Stay there, stay in Broadford, and then, like I said, in the morning head back out. So that's going to be the next morning. So we're good for that hotel, $170 a night. Okay, perfect. It's about $250, $260. Book that right now. Okay, so the next day, you're going to be doing the majority of your hiking and everything here. One of the most touristy hikes here is actually a rock face, old volcanic rock face, up in the Highlands in Skye here, and it's called Old Man of Storr. You'll definitely see it in pictures and calendars of Scotland. It's very, very famous. It's quite the hike, and it's way bigger than you think it is from the pictures. Like, you're minuscule compared to it. It looks like a big spike in the ground. And I'm pretty sure some of the cinematography from that area was used in Lord of the Rings as well. Yeah, so where you're going to be going on your last day was filmed in Lord of the Rings for sure, but this Old Man of Storr, and there's a couple more hikes right next to it. You guys can do it if you want, but it's going to be like a 5-6 hour day, just hiking, yeah. Where I'm going to put you guys, though, is in a little charming little town right close to it. It's called Portree, and the hotel I'm going to put you guys on, actually, let me see if it's still available, or available for that day. Yeah, it is. They actually have a turret room on sale with our travel agency. Yeah, it's got a turret. It overlooks Portree. It's up on a hill overlooking it in a little bay. It's super nice. Really good restaurant there as well. Definitely do that. Okay. It's actually $150 with our deal. It's cheaper than the Broadford bed and breakfast was. Yes, and this is a bed and breakfast as well. So, okay. So you're gonna check in. Like I said, make sure to pack your hiking shoes. Bring water because it's going to be a long day. Like it's a big hike to get up there, and getting around the rocks, getting pictures. Like I said, you can hike the whole thing. Tomorrow, or the day after that, you're going to be doing one of your biggest hikes. But this one's, like I said, 5 or 6 hours for sure. And then you'll want to go back and shower and then go for supper in that nice place. I would venture Portree as well. It's a very charming little town, little fishing town, and there's a lot to see. And tour shop wise and things along that nature. A nice little bakery there when I was there last. A nice little charming pub if you want to grab a drink later in the evening after your supper. That's really good too. So the next day, your last day in Skye, you're going to be spending your day at Quarrying, which is a section of Skye, and this was used in cinematography for Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings the cinematography is predominantly shot in New Zealand and Scotland and Skye. A lot of movies are filmed here, music videos as well. What music video did I see recently was filmed there? Oh, Harry Styles, Sign of the Times. That was all filmed in Skye. Yeah, Quarrying, though. It's so many hikes there. There's so many different hikes and different levels of hikes. And the pictures you'll get are absolutely amazing. I'll never forget being on top of that. I'm not sure what the hike is called now. You're overlooking the Spiral Road, which again is a famous Scottish calendar pictures, wallpapers, etc. And looking over to the right, there's this valley of these massive drop-offs and these massive cliffs, and there's these little sheep, wild sheep, and they're actually on these little ledges where I'm like, there's no way they can get out of there. Like, they're not mountain sheep or anything like rams. They're just like regular sheep, and they're stuck on little cliffs, little tiny patch of grass. They jumped onto them to get the grass. And I'm like, there's no way they make it back. They fall and die from here. Like, I was just shocked. I'm like, why were they there? But it's a really good day. So you're gonna spend your whole day there at Glencoe. Glencoe, jeez, Skye. What I'm gonna suggest you do from here is drive straight from here to Glasgow. It's going to be a bit of a drive. Again, it's going to be about 4.5, 5 hours. And that way, the next day you can be, because now we only got, 5 days left? The next day you can actually go into Wales. We're only going to spend 1 day in Wales. It's a very tiny country, actually. Very, very tiny. You can drive it in just a few hours. But on our way there, we're gonna stop at Hadrian's Wall in Hexham, Great Britain, or Hexham, England. Yeah, that's the better place to check it out. But let's get you set up in Glasgow. Nothing. I don't know. There was really nothing for us to see when we were there. I think it's one of the newer cities in Scotland, or it's the newer one of the two of them. But no, there wasn't anything to see there at all. Really, like it was like a pit stop for us. But it's a city. Like there's an airport and everything there, and you can actually fly there from Toronto if you want. But again, because it's just a regular city, it's going to be a stop shop for you guys. I'm going to set you guys up in a nice cheap hotel. Again, it'll be nice for you guys to have a little bit of privacy. Now you've been having bed and breakfast and everything up till now, sharing bathrooms. This will be a nice little break for you guys. Okay, so there's a Holiday Inn Express, and it's just coming off of the route into the city, so you guys can just stop straight there. It depends. It depends on how long you guys are hiking and quarrying for. Yeah, it could be soon, it could be later, but I'd rather you guys get there sooner than later, obviously. I'd rather you guys not be driving at dark in Scotland for sure, anyway. Okay, so I got you guys in there. 2 people. They don't have a king or a queen. They have two doubles, so we're gonna have to go with that. And I got you guys in there for 150 a night, so it's not overly expensive. But again, it's a chain. It's a chain hotel, but you guys have your own privacy, your own showers. Okay. And that keeps us on budget right now. Okay, that is booked. So like I said, the next day we're going to stop. It's Hexham County, Great Britain. You'll see signs for it. There's actually a little gas station right around that area, and it'll have signs saying Hadrian's Wall is this way. Stop at that gas station, park there, walk across the street. You gotta walk across the highway, and there'll be pathways. There'll be like arrows pointing, go this way to Hadrian's Wall. It's coast to coast, literally from one point, west coast to the east coast. It's there. This point is, in my opinion, the nicest part of it. You'll get some turrets. There's 2 turrets. They're a rubble now, but you can actually see where the Romans had turrets there. A lot of the wall is at least, like for me, I'm 6'3", it's shoulder high, a lot of it. Some of it's higher than that and dips. It's really cool to see. You're not supposed to climb it or do anything along that nature, but everyone does. The big main feature of this section of wall, which is why it's famous, is there's a big picturesque tree, spruce tree in the middle of it, and the wall comes down in a dip, and they got this tree in the middle. That's where the scene from Robin Hood Men and Thieves, the Son of Thieves, is it? I can't remember, the one with Kevin Costner, Prince of Thieves, Son of Thieves. The famous tree scene where he saves the little boy when him and Morgan Freeman come back, it was shot there. And yeah, it's very, very, very nice. And you're not supposed to climb it, but everyone does. Gets pictures walking along it under the tree. It's really nice. And yeah, it's cool because it's Roman, right? Like that's when Roman occupancy of England. I was walking through there. Actually, you're not supposed to do this, but with my wife, and I was touching the wall as we were walking alongside of it, and I hit one of the bricks because it's all obviously brick walled, like old stone masonry, and it was loose. And I actually went like wiggle it, and that chunk came out, a corner chunk, and I was like, oh geez. And I'm walking with it. Actually, I was talking to my wife, and I was throwing it, catching it, and I realized, holy shit, this is an old piece of brick that a Roman back in the day carved himself. He carved this, like 1,000 years ago. I'm like, oh my god. And I had it in my hand, it fit perfectly, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna take this home. And I did. It's literally sitting on my shelf at home. It's the corner piece, like it broke off and it's a corner, so it's literally a corner piece of a brick that a Roman mason had cut back like 1,000 years ago. So you're not supposed to do that either, but I did. But yeah, it's very interesting, and there is plaques there. You can read about the turrets and everything else there, but for the most part, it's just you don't have to pay for anything. You just go for a walk there. The restaurant or the gas station does have a really decent restaurant as well if you guys want to grab a bite. Okay, so after that, you're going to drive into Wales. We're going to see 2 major castles in Wales, probably their 2 most famous castles. The first one is going to be where you guys are going to stay. And let me just take a look here if there's a bed and breakfast nearby. Okay, there is, and it is 120 a night. So there you go. We're getting another decent deal here. You're going to stay in the town of Conway, Wales, and we're going to stay there because in the morning you guys are going to go see Castle Conway, which is a really, really cool regal castle. Not the biggest castle you're going to see. That's later that day, but it's a castle that was under siege for, I think it was over a year. There's no tour needed here. You just self-tour. You go in there and there's plaques everywhere. It lets you know about the murder holes and everything else. It's a very interesting castle to see. But it's a really nice little old town. Right next to it, they got the little streets, and you can go to the tour shops, and there's nice cafes and everything there. It's a really relaxing day. This day in Wales, I want you guys to relax. You're only going to be there for a day. You're winding down at the end of your trip. Now, you've done a lot of driving. I know I put you in automatic, but it's still going to be somewhat stressful driving on those roads. And as narrow as they are, you'll get used to it. But again, you're coming towards the end of it. I want you to relax a little bit. So after that, you're going to go further down the road, about an hour drive. you're going to come across Carnarvon Castle. And this is a castle that's famous in Great Britain. It's an old castle, massive regal castle. It's the biggest castle you're going to see on this trip. It's where Queen Elizabeth not inaugurated, but she named Charles Prince of Wales. They actually did the ceremony there in that yard, and they'll have video footage of that there, and in a tour shops. And there is a tour here I would suggest doing because it's got a lot of history to it. It's a big, beautiful castle. You're not going to want to miss this. I'm going to put it for 3 p.m. That's enough time because I don't want you guys to rush in Conway, especially if you guys want to get breakfast and then maybe lunch after the tour or after you're touring that castle. So 3 p.m. sounds good. That'll be more than enough time. Okay, and that again is £20. They're all pretty much standard. Okay. So the next place you're going to stay, when you get there, it'll be 8 p.m. at night, 6 p.m. at night. So you're going to be back in England, and we're going to hit up two of your wish lists right here. You're going to stay in Bath, England, and it's an old Roman town, and it's got Roman baths in it. Like the Roman baths that are there, obviously you can't swim in them. They're sulfury, but they're preserved, and all the Roman sculptures and everything are there. Good to tour around Old Bath in England, but they do have world-class spas there. Thermia Bath is what I'm looking at right now. It's the main spa in Bath. So that's what we're going to do the next day. But first, let's get you guys set up with okay, they got a nice Airbnb really close to the main Old Town Bath, which is where you'll find Thermia Bath. This is above a pub, but I've stayed here before, and it's really nice. It's not loud at all, and it's a really charming little Airbnb. Let me check the price. It was pretty cheap when I was there last time. £110. Yeah, and like I said, downstairs is a really nice candlelit pub. I remember sitting there sipping on a Guinness after hours of driving, because the back half of this trip you are doing quite a bit of driving, all the way up from the Highlands and into Wales. Long days of driving, so now you're getting towards the end. You can relax a little bit. So you're going to stay there. The next day, and we're going to book this now because it does book up quick. And if you guys wouldn't miss it, but you guys would be waiting in a long, couple hours long lineup for Bath Thermia. So 2 people. Do you want massages, or you want a massage? Okay. Do you want a massage? No. Okay. So I'll set you up with a massage as well. Massage, no facials, anything like that, no, okay. Plus the spa access. Okay, so this is a little bit of a pricier range, but again, you're getting a spa. This is £320 for the 2 of you, which is about $600 Canadian. Again, though, it's good. You're going to be pampered, and it's very, very, very nice. And you guys can stay there as long as you want until it closes. It closes at 10 p.m. So, okay, it's really famous because the very top of the building overlooks all of Old Bath, and it's an entire big hot tub, like a massive hot tub on top of the building, with the views of Old Bath all around you. It's in all the pictures of Bath. If you were to Google Bath right now and look at it, Bath, England, you will see these. Yeah, so it's really good that way. So you guys will good way to end the trip. Right at the end, get there right at 3, get a nice lunch beforehand, and you can actually eat supper there. They have a restaurant there as well, and just stay there right till 10. That's what I would do. Go back to your Airbnb or your bed and breakfast. The Airbnb again. Here I go, and have a drink in a bar. It's a really, really cozy, English bar. And like I said, it's candlelit, and there's live music and everything, and go and finish your last night there and go to sleep. And then the next day is your last day on the road, and the next day is when you're going to hit up Stonehenge. So like I said, try to get up nice and early, because Stonehenge is like a 4 or 5 hour ordeal. You're going to drive there. you can actually see it on the side of the road as you're driving on that freeway. It's kind of weird. Like, this is what people see every day driving to work, is Stonehenge just sitting on the side of the road. You can't obviously get to it, it's all fenced in, but you're going to get to the visitor center of Stonehenge, which is nice. There's a Stonehenge museum there. They actually have a recreation of all the old huts from the cavemen that were there, including their height and everything else. So spend some time at the visiting center. They got a nice restaurant there, cafe again as usual. Get yourself a tea, coffee, whatever it is, and then you book your admission into Stonehenge, and they actually shuttle you there. Yeah, they shuttle you from like little short buses. Yeah, all the way there, and it's like a 10-minute drive on a bus down a dirt road, and then from there you can walk around Stonehenge. I can get you guys the VIP, which is a little more expensive, and that's a separate tour. It's a smaller tour because those buses are like, there's no tour. You just get off that bus and you walk around there as long as you want. This tour is 10 people minimum, and they let you walk around the stones. So you can walk among them, you can touch them. I would recommend that. That is a little more expensive, but it is on your bucket list. And again, once in a lifetime deal. And I like to, when I go on trips, I like to touch things, old things, whether it's the Colosseum in Rome, or Hadrian's Wall, or a pyramid or something. I like to touch them and feel that, I don't know, like a connection to an energy, that feeling. All the people that have touched this, over the centuries. And Stonehenge is like probably one of the oldest, right? There's actually an older one in Ireland, believe it or not, that not a lot of people know about, but Stonehenge is the most famous. So you do want to do that. Okay, so I'll just give you a price difference here. So, just admission to go and drive out there with that shuttle is £40 per person. The VIP one, which I think 2 p.m. should work out for you guys. The VIP one is £150 per person, so about $450 Canadian. Yeah, so again, that's with a guided tour. He'll go there with you guys. There's 10 of you, and he'll walk you through. He'll show you like how they use them to work with the stars and the sun and shadows with it and everything else, and talk about how they drag them over there. It's a really good. I would recommend it. Okay, you're gonna go for that. That's, again, we're pretty close on budget here still. So to you, yeah, there's room. So good luck on our part. Yeah, they book up really fast, these VIP ones, because again, like I said, it's once in a lifetime, right? Okay, so you guys are booked for 2 o'clock. Well, no, there's no other tourists there when you guys are there. That's why the shuttle times are odd. It'll be like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then it'll be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then that's it. And in between are those VIP private tours, and that's what you guys are going to be on. Again, I did this for TripAdvisor, so. Okay, so your day's going to be done there, and now you are driving back to London. I'm going to put you guys back in the exact same hotel you guys are in before, just because it's right next to your car dealer. You're going to save a day of car rental because we're going to return this car that day. So, well, you'll just subway to where you're going after this. You don't need to drive in London. You do not want to drive in London. Aside from Dublin, Ireland, London was the biggest pain in the ass it is for me to drive personally. It was so damn busy. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So again, same hotel. It's the same rate as well, so we're still on target. Again, you're going to drop your car off, your car rental, and now you're going to do your touristy things. You're getting there mid-afternoon-ish, maybe go for supper that night. I would recommend going to Westminster Abbey and seeing you're going to see your Big Ben there, your Eye of London, your big Ferris wheel you want to see. Yeah, you'll see all that there. They got really nice fish and chips restaurants there. It's very charming old England around there. You get really good pictures of Big Ben, and it's finally refurbished. If you'd have gone in the last 5 years, it was all covered up. It's finally redone. So it was like a 10-year restoration. But that's what you're going to do that day. Your next day is going to be your day before your flights. So your last day there. Just relax this day. Go and see the Tower of London if you guys want. I don't need to book you for any of these because you're just come and pay as you go. The Tower of London, the Tower Bridge, which is right next to the Tower of London, which is nice. That's a very famous bridge in London as well. Street food, they got really, really good street food there, especially, oh man, I remember they had these chocolate homemade nuts that were like really hot and they put them in a bag for you. It was so good. That's a Sunday, so what's going to be open on this Sunday is a market, a famous market. I don't know if it's globally famous, but it's famous in Great Britain for sure. It's the Borough Market in London. It's so damn nice. Think of it like a farmer's market on steroids. Yeah, like food from all over the world, and you could spend all day there. Definitely recommend going there to Borough Market. Again, your subways will get you anywhere there from your hotel. So just hop in a subway and go wherever you want. There's like if you guys want to have a really nice expensive supper there, like there's a ton of Michelin star restaurants in London. I would recommend. But for the most part, that's it for your trip, you guys. So the next morning, you will be getting on your flight, and you'll be flying back to Canada. Yeah, you'll be landing in Canada around 7 a.m., so you'll be nice and tired when you get back. But let's take a look at the trip total now. I've been doing everything here for you guys. Okay, we're actually $140 below budget. Again, this is just for hotels, flights, everything like that. You guys have to keep in mind, and I think you know this, your food, your gas, your shopping, all that separate. Yeah, okay, that's separate. But this is paid off with your budget. We actually did it. We made it good. And we pretty much hit up everything you guys want in a 14-day trip. That is a lot you guys have seen. You guys have traversed the entire island at this point. So let me just send myself an email. Oh, I'm really excited for you guys. You guys are really going to enjoy this trip. Okay, and I do have the iPad here. Yeah, so I'm just going to get you to sign this, and I'll send you guys the bill. You guys just pay it through there. And like I said, we're $140 below budget, so there you go. Just give that a little quick pay. Yeah, just the signatures, both of you, top and bottom. Perfect. Okay, I think we are all set. And you know what? My client's going to be in right away. My 12 o'clock, so this has worked out perfectly. Again, you guys, on the email, I got my phone number. Again, when you're on the trip, we have our email and our phone number as well. Feel free to call us if you have any questions while you're over there. Any one of us will help you out. But right now, I think you guys are set. Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited for you guys. Okay. All right, you too. Take care now. Bye.